next speaker would be the state dean of Florida and the state dean, and then the dean of Orlando Branch, Dr. F. Mixon.
Thank you. That's a good evening to everyone. Good evening. Very happy to be with you. And I really enjoy the speaker. And seeing how that the obedience has to take over within our hearts and in our minds in order to cause us to go back and to begin at Moses and to take the natural things that Yahweh has set up in the beginning of his purpose and to show the natural reigning operating down through the antediluvian and the post-diluvian world, or the first world, which was the antediluvian world, and then the natural come on down, reigning all the way through the post-diluvian world. Then when we come down to the end of the post-diluvian world or age, then Yahweh manifests himself in a physical body known as Yahshua the Messiah in order to fulfill all of the natural and move it out of the way, you see. Then be crucified out here on the cross from a natural standpoint, die from a natural standpoint, and then that physical body, all of this is going on back here in this world, you see. Then takes this body off the cross with all of these carnal ordinances and everything natural being nailed to that fleshly body, and that fleshly body being nailed to the cross, okay, and that body being made sin for us. Taking that body, natural body, and buried it in Joseph's new tomb back here in this post-diluvian world. Then resurrecting a quick spirit. All of this is going on back here in the post-diluvian world. Then resurrecting, then ascending on back to heaven, you see. Then on the day of Pentecost, we have appeared, pouring out his Holy Spirit into the hearts and minds of mankind, or setting up the spiritual kingdom in the earth plane in this present world and age that we're living in now. But all of the natural had to be fulfilled back here in this world back here, you see, beginning with the physical creation that had to be fulfilled by him. All things that was natural, that was the purpose of God or Yahweh, who is spirit, manifest himself in a spiritual body for the express purpose of fulfilling the physical, the natural, and nailing all of that to his cross. Now that's why he said in Matthew 5:17, when he said to the multitude of the Hebrews, he said to them, speaking from the mountain, think not that I, Yahshua, Messiah, Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophecy. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay. Now everything from a natural standpoint had to be fulfilled by this man, Yahshua, Messiah. All of the natural had to be fulfilled by him. Even the natural physical creation had to be fulfilled by him. And it had to come to a complete end. Now then, he's out there on the cross, and he's saying, it is finished. What's finished? I have finished fulfilling the law and the prophets. Now that's what he had finished doing. Now the law and the prophets, those things that were written in there, you say, they were natural, physical. And that's what he come to fulfill, the natural and the physical. Because he is the same one down here at the end of this world that was back here in the beginning of this physical creation. It was him. Back here. Back in the spirit. Instituting the physical, the natural creation. Setting it up. You see? So now, since he is the one that instituted it, then he's the only one can fulfill it. And institute means to start. Fulfill means to finish. That makes him be the beginning, and that makes him be the end. That makes him be the first. That makes him be the last. And he's everything in between. See? So then he's the institution of the whole thing. Then, now since you see him instituting the physical and the natural creation, and he's the one instituting the physical man, then he must come in and fulfill that physical man. Everything physical and natural. Everything. Even the natural creation, when he's manifesting this physical body, he has to fulfill it. Even the natural man, he has to fulfill that. Even with the two children, meaning Cain and Abel, that Adam and Eve had, he must fulfill that. Now Abel was born. Okay? So now, since Abel is born, and now since he's coming to fulfill everything that's written in the law and in the prophets, then there has to be the Messiah. That is what? Born. Okay? From an actual standpoint. He has to fulfill everything. And he said this, think not that I am come to destroy the law of the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to what? Read.
For verily I say unto you,
For verily I say unto you, read.
till heaven and earth pass,
Now watch how, now listen to what he said. Now that's what this man is saying. Till heaven and earth pass.
one jot,
Wait a minute. Wait. Why would he even have to say that? Till heaven and earth pass. Why would he have to say that? Everything he's doing is fulfilling. Everything he's saying is fulfilling. He's not instituting anything. Till heaven and earth pass. Why would he have to say that if he's not fulfilling? Read.
one jot,
One jot
or one tittle,
or one tittle
shall in no wise
shall in no wise
pass from the law,
pass from the law.
till all be fulfilled.
Now, what part of your Bible would the creation be? Would that be in the first 5 books? Would that be in Genesis? Is that a book of the law? You get it? Is it in Genesis 1:1 where Moses is having written, in the beginning, Yahweh Elohim created the what? Heaven. And the what? Earth. Is that almost right? Now, is that back in the law?
Yes.
Then why would he have to say it over here in the fulfillment if it's in the law? Because he's what? Isn't that right? You see? Now, you see, try to get you to understand. Now, folks, this is milk. This is not meat. You see? Now, see, listen now. Say from Adam down to Moses is how many years? 2,513 years. Now, no man, and Adam being the first man, created, from Adam all the way down to Moses, did no man know how Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. No man knew that. Now, so then that means that the heavens, the natural heavens and the natural earth was already here for 2,513 years. Nobody knew anything about it. They didn't know anything about time. Time was not being registered until Moses. You see? You didn't have months and years for 2,513 years until Moses. Now, that's what the first speaker was up here laboring with. And she was saying. You say, say, would it be strange that we didn't know what was the first month of the year? Well, that was people for 2,513 years didn't know what the first month of the year was. The first time Yahweh mentioned anything about time was down in the land of Egypt. To deliver the children of Israel. Are you with me? Do you understand? You see? Now, we didn't know anything about time either. We didn't even know what time it was. We thought January was the first month of the year, right?
Yes.
Now, what we're setting up in your mind, you see, is the milk. So now it is after delivering the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, and that phenomenal cloud led them on, and that cloud set and hovered on top of Mount Sinai. Now, keep this in mind. Don't forget why he's saying what he's saying down here. Because it's the same one, Joshua, who truly is Joshua, the son of Nun, that has taken Moses up here in the mountain and transfigured before him. Now, this same one that's back here that appeared down in the land of Egypt is the same one 1,500 years later now that is born through the loins of the Virgin Mary. But he's back here instituting, setting up, starting his purpose, listen, with a group of people. Never at no time have Yahweh ever in the 2,513 years that man has been on the face of the earth, this is the first time that Yahweh has gathered a group of people together. This is the first time. And gave them laws and ordinances, which are natural, physical laws, and carnal means physical ordinances. This is the first time in the history of mankind. Now then, with that cloud leading them on out of the land of Egypt, and that cloud hovering and sitting on top of Mount Sinai, then it is in that 24th chapter of Exodus where he tells, now don't get it, where he tells Moses to come back up into the mountain and bring Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 elders, and feed them. And then he says to Moses, now Moses, you alone come on up here near me. And you read where it said Moses and his minister went on up into the mountain. Now Joshua, who is Joshua, the son of Nun, meaning he had no earthly father or mother. Now let's see if I can do this quick where you will follow the train of thought. Now since this one back here, who is Joshua, Joshua, the son of Nun, didn't have any earthly father or mother. Now when he come over here, he can't have earthly father or mother. He's the son of Nun. Mary and Joseph is not his earthly father or mother. Your father? If he's the son of Nun back here, then what do you think he is over here? The son of Nun. Because he said, I got to fulfill every what? And every tittle. You see? Now here he is over here, 1,500 years in the mountain, speaking down to the multitude of the children of Israel. Now what? He is here in the mountain, and the multitude of the children of Israel is down here at the base of the mountain. Now watch the principle in fulfillment. Read that again. Where you reading that? Matthew's what?
Matthew's 17. Matthew's 5:17.
All right, start at 5:1 first.
5:1. And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain.
Now that's in the fulfillment, right?
Right, Matthew's, yes.
All right, now remember what we just said. See, now that cloud led the children of Israel on out after they eat the Passover, as the previous speaker had said. And that phenomenal cloud appeared down there the morning of the 15th of April and began to lead Israel. And that cloud led on in that cloud, covenant set on top of Mount Sinai. Now that's when he brought Moses up into the mountain. Now let's hold Moses here in the mountain. We got Moses in the mountain. Listen. You got the multitude down here at the base of the mountain. Now you got Joshua up here in the mountain. You got the multitude of Israel at the base of the mountain. See? Now this is happening back here. It's 1,500 years before the fulfillment. This is the institution. This is the fulfillment. Okay? Watch now. Read.
And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain.
All right. Hold it right there. And seeing the multitude, he went up into a mountain. Read.
And when he was set,
now he sat. He couldn't stand up. He had to sit. Just as this cloud did what?
Set.
And who is the cloud representing? Yahweh. Who is this over here that went up in the mountain? Yahweh. In Yahshua. Is he the fullness of the Godhead in a bodily form? You get it? Now watch. Watch now. Now then, this Joshua, the son of Nun, what would he have to be? The fullness of the Godhead in a what? Ain't that right? Why would you say it would have to be that way? Because he's fulfilling what was what? Isn't that right? You get it? Check it just as simple as 1, 2, 3. Now that's milk. And when he was set, is that right? Mm-hmm. Now what did the cloud do? Is that right? It sat on top of the mountain. Read.
And when he was set, his disciples came unto him.
Now how many did he have? 12. How many tribes is it back here? 12. They are, he's the teacher and they are the what? Disciples. Ain't that right? Read.
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
Now if he opened his mouth over here, teaching the multitude down here, then that means he's a teacher. Right? And Yahshua is the what? Teacher. Is that right? Now see, you don't see Messiah there. Because he didn't drop that body there. See, that's Yahshua. Now Yahshua, the Holy Spirit is the what? Teacher. So who, what is it? Now this is Yahweh Elohim who? Is that right? He's the teacher. You get the point? See? Now what? And say he did what?
And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying.
In the mountain, right? Why you think you got this here? See him opening his mouth? Now what is he teaching them over here? The law. Why? Now what is he? That's the law, is that right? Now the same text that he taken back here, teaching Israel, that's that natural law that he, now the law was spiritual, but he spoke it down into a what kind of people? A carnal, natural, physical-minded what? People. Listen. Are you listening? Now as he's speaking the law down in this spiritual, then it was translated in them what? Carnal, physical, and natural. Did you hear what I said? That was to the natural Jew. 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 That was to the natural, physical, carnal-minded Jew. The law always was spiritual. He said, the words that I speak, they are what? Spirit. Ain't that right? But now when it got into them, it become what? Natural or carnal. The ordinance that he spoke, which was spiritual, it entered into that natural heart and the natural mind, the fleshly minded man. That's what happened. Is that right? Okay? Why? Now he opened his mouth. And everything he's saying here, you got to go back in the 20th chapter of Exodus, or in the book of Exodus, and see that he said it back there. From the mouth. Read on.
Blessed are the poor in spirit.
Now, that's what the world called the beatitude. Drop on down and get the law. Come on now.
5:21.
5:21.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old.
Now he is way over here, 1,500 years from where I am here. Now can't you understand why he said, you, now to the multitude over here, you have heard that it hath been said by them of old. How long ago? For 1,500 years it didn't say it. Where did it start? Back at Mount Sinai. You have heard that it has been said by them of old. What?
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill.
And whoever shall...
Now listen. Now see, this whole thing is in a parable. It's in a mystery. Now that's how come the world out here got it. And sure you got to do is keep the golden rule of the Ten Commandments. All that's all you got to do. See, it's a mystery. See, now the way he said it, you see, it would sound like what he said. You heard that it has been said by them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery, or thou shalt not kill. Now that don't sound like he fulfilled it, does it? See the mystery? Read.
The 27th verse.
Read.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Wait, drop on back that kill first.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment.
Of judgment. Did you see what I'm saying? See, all that's back young. Now you go back there and you'll find it back there. See? But now when you read the 20th chapter of Exodus, read that.
Exodus 20 and 13.
Yeah.
Thou should not kill.
Yeah. Keep on reading.
14.
No. Thou shalt not kill. Keep on reading.
You list the commandments.
No, just keep reading.
Okay. Thou should not commit adultery.
No. Thou shalt not kill. Keep reading. Right there. Is that the end of it? Okay. Read. I don't want the next commandment. I just want you to keep reading.
Okay.
What verse is it, thou shalt not kill? 13. All right, read. Read 13.
Thou should not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Read.
14.
Is that the end of 13?
Yeah.
All right, read on.
Thou should not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not commit it. Read on.
Thou should not steal.
Keep on.
Thou should not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
All right, now watch this. Now watch. Now come on over here. Back over here.
27th verse. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery.
No, thou shalt not kill. I won't kill.
Oh. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not kill.
Read on.
And whoever shall kill shall
And
be...
whoever shall kill. Now see, you didn't say all that did you, in Exodus? Did you catch the point? See? Catch that? Read on.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of judgment.
Shall be in danger of death. Now he said that. See, now that's been said like that, but not right that. Now see, he didn't say all that when he spoke down in the mouth. Yes, read on. This is mystical. Read.
But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother,
Yeah.
without a cause, shall be in danger of judgment.
Now you see all of that back there in the law. And all you got to do is check out your law. See, every word that he said, it must be back here. Or else he's lying. He's instituting. Catch it? Read.
And whosoever
Well, get the next commandment now, because I got a ways to go. Come on.
ye have heard that it was said by them of old, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Now, is that what you just read back in the 20th chapter today? Now, is he fulfilled? He's in the mountain speaking it down to the multitude. He's in the mountain, opening his mouth, speaking down. You get the point? But see, back here, they didn't see no similitude. They really didn't see none over here. Great. Don't you think they were standing up there looking at him up there in the mountain? What did he say? He said, no, she did. There were 3 million people around here, and every one of them heard everything he said. Oh, listen. And he didn't have no loudspeaker either. Didn't have no amplifier. You get the point? Everything he spoke, they heard. Everyone. Didn't nobody have one around here. What did he say? I didn't hear him. Y'all be quiet. See the same way over here. The earth was quaking when he spoke. See, they're standing there quaking. You see? Really?
But I say unto you.
Now, that's right, son. Go, not see. All I want you to do is just line it up. I want you to see the same one is back here on top of the mountain speaking down to the multitude is the same one over here on top of the mountain speaking down to the multitude. Not going over there now. Just keep on reading.
Matthew 17, 5:17.
5:17.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Think not that I'm come to destroy what?
The law.
Now, did you see that? Now, the law. Now, where did the law start? With a multitude of people. With Israel coming up out of the land of Egypt. Now, did you hear what I said? Where did it start at? With a multitude of people. See, but the law had been given to one man and a woman back here. At the beginning of their life. That's Adam and Eve. But they broke that law. Now come all the way down. 2,513 years. Now you got the multitude. Now all of these are their children that he's speaking to now. And he's speaking the same law down here that he did back here. You see? Now let's give it to you this way. Thou shalt not commit adultery. If you do. You see that? Thou shalt not kill. If you do. You see? Now that's the same law he gave here. Thou shalt not. Of all the trees in the garden you can freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, don't touch. Or if you do. You get it? You'll die. Now if you don't keep these back, you'll what? Die. That's what I'm trying to do. It's the same principle. If you don't keep it, you die. If you break it, you die. It's the same law. It's natural, it's physical, it's carnal. Was the garden already had trees up there before he put the man up there? So then what is it? There are natural trees up there. So you got to point natural trees out to the what? Natural man. Read.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
But to fulfill. Read.
For verily I say unto you,
For truly I say unto you. Read.
till heaven and earth pass.
Wait a minute now. Why would he say till heaven and earth pass? Is this the same mountain that he takes Moses up in the mountain? Listen. Did he pass the heavens and the earth by Moses and showed Moses how he created it? See him passing it by Moses? Did you follow what I'm saying? The creation, it already had been created. But now Moses here, he's giving him a panoramic view of Yahweh Elohim, and causing the creation to come on by Moses, that he might see it day by day, logical procedure. When you see him passing by heaven and earth by Moses, can you all see that? Yes. Till heaven and earth pass. Read.
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Ain't that right? Now listen, folks. Now listen. Now if he did not fulfill this creation, then he had no need of dying. Then that means he got to come back and put on a physical body and fulfill the physical creation. Because you haven't fulfilled it yet. Are you with me? So not one jot or one tittle pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Is that right? Read.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these last commandments, least commandments, and shall teach men, so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Now read that again.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach them so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
You get that? Now see, this thing is a mystery, John. And that is just exactly why, baby. Say you just got to stay back in the simplicity. See, because that's the milk. Now what? Now, all of this natural, Yahweh, Elohim, listen, Yahshua. I'm going to get this over to you. I'm going to get this over to you yet. See? Y, A, H, W, E, H. E, L, O, H, I, E. Y, A, H, S, H, U, A. I'm just going to see if I can do it this way. I ain't going to do too much adding. See, now let's just take this. Let's just take it this way. Now here's the spiritual body. Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua. See? Now here it is, Yahweh. Now see, we got it written up here like this to make sure it's here. You see, but really, this is the head. Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua. See that spiritual body there? Now there are three that she just read. There are three that bear record in what? Heaven. Now that's the Father, the Word, the Holy Spirit. Now these three are what? Now they won't. Now, when you go over there in, now see, you can tell I'm not a good drawer. You can tell that. Said I don't profess to be. But I guarantee you one thing. Say now here is Yahweh, the fullness. Come on down. You see? You watch this. You just follow me. See? And I used to do this when I first come to Florida. You see? Let's get up here and draw this thing out this way. John, maybe you and Bertie, Jamel, you probably remember these things. You see? See? Now we're going to do it just like this. We're going to do it just like this. See? Now, see, this body here, this body here, this body here. Now see, that's the spirit. See, all of this inner body here is the spirit. That's the spirit man. Now this body here, this is the fleshly man. You see, that's why I'm doing this one, just this way, you see. That's the fleshly man. That's the outer covering there, you see. But this man in here, you see. Now see, this is the spirit man. This is the spirit man. See, and all he did was just come on down and put on a natural coat of flesh. That's all he did. That's all that he did. You see? Now this head is M-E-S-S-I-A-H. That's this one here. That's this one here. Okay, now, give me John 1:14. Started St. John 1 and 10. Now, see, you can write these scriptures down. It'll help you. It'll help you. Read.
John 1 and 10. He was in the world.
Now, look, who is he was in the world? That's Yahweh Elohim Yahweh. That's this one here. He, listen, are you listening? Are you looking up here? He was in the what?
World.
See, now that's that physical body. He, Yahweh Elohim Yahweh, the spirit man, was in the world. Read.
And the world was made by him.
Look up here. See, now, this is the one the world was made by. Now listen. Now he didn't have this coat of flesh on when he made the world. Are you with me? Now you can question me. And I think you should do that. In fact, I know you should do that. And you question me for your soul salvation's sake. Now you see who was in the world? He was in, see, this is the world, folks. The planets and all of that. He was in the world. See, he was back here in the world. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt. That's all that God today is, was back there. He was in the world. Ain't that right? What? Read.
And he was in the world, and the world was made by him.
And the world was made by him.
And the world knew him.
Look here. All these folks running around here, you understand? Scribes and the Pharisees, just like down here now, you heard me. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. Ain't that right? Looking just like any other Joe, you understand? See? And the world was made by him. See, all this is the people, the one that he made. They run around here in physical bodies. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. What?
And the world knew him not.
But the world translate means what? Mankind. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. But what they're looking just like him. Now what did this one do? The same thing he did back here is the same thing he did over here. Hebrews 10. See, now look at here. Listen here. We're going to pull all the skins out from under you. Read.
10:1.
See, because you done exalted yourself. Read.
For the law,
No. I want 10 and 5. I want where he said, body have not prepared for me. Wherefore,
When he cometh into the world,
wherefore when he who, Yahweh Elohim, Yahshua, when he cometh into the world,
he
read,
said, sacrifice and offerings thou wouldest not.
now here the Holy Spirit, Joshua through Paul, he said, wherefore when he, listen, did you hear, do you know Paul is not talking? The Holy Spirit's the teacher. Wherefore when he cometh into the world, read.
He said,
See, you can sit up here with them damnable spirits if you want to. I'll take care of you now. See, now you can be a son. You're going to be that anyhow. You're going to be one of the sons of the other. The son of righteousness or the son of perdition. Either one, it don't make no difference. We're trying to help you. Read.
wherefore when he cometh into the world,
Wherefore
he
when
said,
he cometh into the world.
sacrifice
Now
and
look at here.
offerings.
Where did he come from to come in the world in the first place? Come on down from heaven. Make that right. Yet he never left heaven, though he was in a physical body looking like everybody else. Wherefore when he cometh into the world, he said what?
Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest
Now
not.
he ain't walking around in his body. He ain't walking around in his body. That's this one here. Says sacrifices and burnt offering. I didn't desire. Why? Because it's natural and physical. Well, what are you? I'm Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua. I'm spiritual. And your physical offering up, bull, goats, and heaven. I didn't desire that mess in the first place. Read.
Sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not.
I didn't desire. Read.
But a body hast thou prepared.
Now, did you hear that? But a what?
A body hast thou prepared me.
Well, is this a body? Well, then what does that physical one mean? That's a body. He's the only one has a body. Spiritual and physical. And you want to bring it right down to this is the spiritual body. This is a special prepared physical body. Why you got to take on another body in the first place? To fulfill the natural that I instituted, that I created. Ain't that right? Did you hear what I said? What kind of body is it? Special prepared, what kind of body? Physical body. Boom! Ain't that right? Through the loins of the Virgin Mary. Ain't that right? Did you understand? Not this body, because it wasn't born. It wasn't even created. It always is, always has been, always will be. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? And he walked around in that body, ate food, drank wine, got drunk. Don't you tell me Jesus got drunk. What are the feasts? Is he the one back here instituted feast days? What did he give that to the Jews from a natural standpoint, John? Sure he did. Why did he give it to them? What did they do? They got what? Drunk. That's why they call him a what? Wine bibbler. What you drinking wine for, poor filly? Somebody said, now you lying, say, because they didn't get drunk. Don't you tell me on the feast days, you better go back and read 2nd chapter of Acts. Now y'all children, be still. Because you need to know these things too. And they are revealed. Now see, out of all that milk you've been getting, now here's the meat of the subject. Now let's try Romans 1:19 and 20. Let's go to 3rd chapter of Corinthians. And let's see if we're on the mark. Come on, fast. Whoever got it, it don't have to be no special story. No. I want for Corinthians.
1 Corinthians,
3rd chapter.
3rd chapter. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual.
Now, did you see that? Now, first time, this school's set up and leads every class. See? That's why. Just like the first speaker got up, it began back at Moses, right? Set back in the types and the Sabbath, like Passover feast. Come all the way down. Is that right? Come all the way down, got Joshua fulfilling it. Is that right? Died, buried, resurrected, poured out the Spirit. Is that right? Brought it on over into this age. Is that right? Now that's milk. That's the milk back there in the law and the prophets. Now when he fulfilled it, resurrected, quickening Spirit, he's eating it spiritually. Now that's what? Meat. And from a natural standpoint, there ain't a baby that's born in this world. That means from Cain all the way down, you better give him some milk. You better give that baby some milk. You got to be brought up on milk. While you bring him up on milk, what does that do? You understand? That's got calcium in his bones, right? And what you say the bones represent? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Is that almost right? You better feed that baby some milk. Ain't that right? You don't start cramming meat down his mouth, do you? Ain't that right? Choke him to death. I think out of 15 years, you should be able to eat some meat. You get it? But yet and still, even after the man, you understand, the baby get on up where you eat meat. Does he still drink milk? Is that right? Do you drink milk? And there's a rusty old man here. Until you get, I'm not saying that to be funny. I do too. I'm a rusty old man. I drink milk. I love milk. If you don't, you're going to wind up around here. You see, you better get you some calcium pills. So your teeth going to start, you understand what I'm talking about? So you never run out of drinking milk. Somebody said, well, I hate milk. Then you better watch your bones because they're pretty brittle. You better get some kind of replacement for it. Milk never run out. Is that right? See? But now I have to read it now.
And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual.
As unto spiritual.
But as unto carnal.
Now as unto natural, carnal, physical.
Even
Now how are you speaking unto me carnal, Saul? Because I'm taking you back here, showing this old carnal law back here. This old physical creation. See, that's carnal, is that right? You stand back here, Moses, is all that carnal? Ain't that right? Every bit of it's carnal. Physical and that. The Jews had the natural carnal law. Ain't that right? The natural carnal creation. Is that almost right? Ain't that right? They were born after the flesh. Is that right? Natural carnal. And it said man that is born of a woman is but of a few days, sometime they got trouble. All time full of trouble. Ain't that right? Somebody writes, I don't want no trouble. You understand? Read.
and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal.
As unto carnal.
Even as unto babes in the Messiah.
Even as unto babes in who?
Messiah.
In Yahshua Messiah. Read.
I have fed you with milk.
I fed you with milk.
And
See,
not
that's
with
what I'm telling you now. And not with what?
Meat.
Meat. Read.
For to this time you were not able to bear it.
Now you see, some of them still ain't able to bear. See, now when the meat comes along, somebody come on and say, now you done changed the thing. You see what I'm saying? Okay? Now, there ain't nothing changed. There's nothing changed at all. Been taking you the same thing. See, and then folks run around here, they run around here handing out handbills and all that kind of junk. You see, when they're trying to prove I'm lying, that I'm sharing that two spirits in a body, you a damn liar. That's what you are, and I'll tell you right to your teeth, that's what you are. You're a damnable spirit incarnated in a body. And that's what you was made for, to lie and to deceive. And I'm the only one around here can cast them out when I get ready. And if they do it to you now, somebody else gonna take your place. So you done a pretty good job of it. See, because the two mysteries got to come right on down side by side. Read.
Neither yet now are ye able.
Are you able?
For ye are yet carnal.
Well, you're yet carnal. But get this out. I'm spiritual minded myself. So this ain't the flesh Paul's talking about. Well, what flesh is he talking about? See, they want to jump spirit and say, I don't have a carnal mind. You know, the devil was a liar and he opposed not in the truth. And what that is satanic spirit incarnated in this old fleshly man. They see when I point there, you know what they say? See, but I tell you, you're not going to get away with that. You're not going to get away because I have warned you over and over again about it. See? All right, now, just hold it right there. Now, you go back and you read the 2nd chapter of 1 Corinthians sometime. You know, we don't have time to read that now. You read that when you get home, and you can call me and question me about it. Or you can question me about it now. Ain't nobody who can tell you any more about it than me. Why you jump on these little innocent folk around here? Hey? You did run well. Now what hindered you? All right, now listen, folks. Can you see this? John over there, John, come on. I'm not going to get far with this, but I want to show you something before I sit down about these charts that you have never seen.
John 1 and 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
Now this man that was walking around, he was in the world. Still is. And the world was made by him. Read.
And the world knew him not.
They didn't know him back there. They don't know him down here. Read.
He came to his
own.
And his own received him not.
They rejected him. See, now this thing, if it happened back here, at the end of this world, at the end of this, it's got to happen down here. Ain't nothing new happening, folks. Nothing new. You see? And I told you this. If God is not here in our life, then you better run somewhere quick. Because you messed up. You messed up. You messed up. You have no opportunity to be saved. I'm talking to the whole state of Florida. And Robert, if you don't believe I'm here, you're dead in your sins. That's what I said. I don't care where you come from or who you are. Now, folks, I am not talking to an individual. Did you hear me? There's the most damnable spirits incarnated in the flesh. And you read about it back there in the Bible and you think that was way back yonder. The most scribes and Pharisees. They always try to jump up into his teeth with some stuff. See? But I guarantee you this. The works that the Father did manifest through this body, you can't even come close to it. This woman sit right here, sit around here for a long time before getting up here telling you what I did. You get the phone? Sitting up down there in the doctor's office. I went to two doctors, the doctor said, you're going to die, you got to have an operation. I'm way up down in Orlando. And she never uttered or opened her mouth to me about it. But just was obedient. I always said, I don't care what one doctor said, you go to another one. Then went to the second one, and he diagnosed her case the same as the other one, is that right? I know you never told me that. And the doctor sitting up there said, you got to have an operation, don't you gonna die. It's the second one. And she's sitting up there scared to death. She said, but I don't want one. And he said, well, you're gonna die if you don't have it. Then I appear changed from that doctor's face to my face. Is that right? And what did I look you straight in the face through that doctor and tell you?
You never came and told me nothing. All you need to do is get some rest.
Go on and get some rest. Now you pull that and you so smart. Man down there in Miami, he said, call himself a preacher. Gonna jump up and I asked him a question about the young water baptism. You understand what I mean? He sit up there, stood there, and lied. What's the next thing happened to him?
You feel good?
That's right. You don't lie to me. You don't rise up to me. I'll take care of you now. And I'm sick of this crap. I know you got to do what you doing, but a little you go a long ways with me. And I must have that opposition here in the state of Florida. You haven't seen nothing yet. You wait till the conventions come around. We'll see who the potentate of potentates is. But you better get straight before that. And I encourage everybody to go tell. You don't have to be guessing around about it. And keep your story the way it's kept. Now that's fair warning. See, you know the mercy of Yahweh and stuff. Is that right?
That's right.
See, now all you got to do is just come on down and say, I'd like to be the difference from this thing. It's just that simple and that easy.
Mm-hmm.
But look, if you want to keep on, just get harder and harder, Yahweh just nudge you, just go you right on down the line. See, now I know what I'm talking about. And I didn't come down here to be taught. So now he was in the Word. And you can't do nothing with this either. Try it. You sit up here with your and your brother, walk out here and say, did you hear that shit? Yeah, that's what you run out of here and say. Well, Yahweh gonna, now you know what's in the book. Yahweh said he's gonna take dung and put it in your face too. Now that's what dung means in Hebrew, what you call that. Yahweh said, and he's wiping it in your face. So all the devil is just a copycat. That's all he is saying. And it's stinking too. And it ain't no sweet smelling savor until the nostril of Yahweh is sitting on the mercy seat either. Clean it up, get it clean quick. See? Because that's what we're trying to do. Trying to get you to see. Now look at him. So therefore now, here he come on down in that physical body. And he said he come to fulfill. And every time and every time, he's fulfilling. And every time, right? Do you understand what I'm talking about? See now what's going on? See? Now Yahshua was sitting here eating the Passover. My sister just went through that thing, laid that thing down just as pretty as it could be. You see? Now let's come back here. Let's touch just a little bit more. Just one more time. That's Matthew 26. 26 and 1. Look up here, folks. Look up here. Look up here. Did you see the first man Adam here? Now just watch this coming all the way across just like this. Okay. Watch all this coming all the way across. Okay. See the death of this man here, 4 points of blood? See? Now all this natural. See this first man back here? He died, didn't he? First spiritually, is that right? And then come on down here, what do you have to do? Die. Physically, is that right? Now watch. See, that's death. Now, all you got is nothing but types and shadows in the natural. That's all the natural is, just types. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. They're just types, they're shadows. They're parables. That's all they are. Parables, they're signs. But not when we come down here at the end. That's real. Okay? All right? But look, there's got to be a death in the beginning. There's got to be a what? In the end. Is that right? Now watch the cross. Watch the cross. Now do you see why you have to have a migratory pattern? See? Now you got to have a death here, right? See? Now coming all the way down. Now what you got to have at the end? Huh? Death, is that right? That's Joshua 24:29. Is that almost right? You better read it, please. You better read it. See, the devil want to come around here and obstruct your peace. That's all the time you trying to hinder your peace of knowledge and understanding in the milk and the simplicity of the thing. And you want to try to throw some junk in there on you to draw you away from your milk. Read it.
And it came to pass,
Yes.
after these things,
Yes.
that Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died, being 110 years old.
Is that almost right? Now this lamb down here, who is it typifying? Joshua. Is that right?
Yeah.
So now you got to have a death in the beginning, but it's got to be an end, right?
Yeah.
So now can you see it going from east, beginning in the east as a death, and you get to the west where it's got to be?
Yeah.
All right, now that's east, west, south, there, north. Is that right? So then if this is the migratory pattern, is that right? Now you got it coming straight up, right? Then what would this make?
Cross.
Huh?
A cross.
Ain't that almost right? That's crucifixion, isn't it? Is that almost right? Now, why would this have to be sit in the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, what? 4. It's in the midst. Is that right? So now you got it coming out. Is that right? And you got a death in the beginning, death in the end. Death in the beginning, what's you got to be in the end? Ain't that right? So you see the cross? Now watch this. Now look, it's the fourth day, right? Where's the fourth day? Right here. See the fourth day? See the S-U-N? Come all the way down, is that right? Who got the pill down here? The S-O-N, is that right? Is that almost right? Now if you got that coming all the way down that way, and then you got the creation coming out this way, what it's got? Is that a cross? Is that almost right? But now look, you don't see no cross down here. Because everything down here is what? Life, 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 life. And what's happening? Is that right? See, but all this is death. All of this is death because it's what? Natural. It's natural. That's why it's death. But now when he resurrected quick and still, and everything life. Now he's standing here. He said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he will what? Yet shall he what? And he, they come on up, didn't he? And he that liveth and believeth in me shall what? Now don't you see why it's heaven all the way over here? See, so the natural is nothing but death. But the spiritual, that's right. That's life and mortality. Did you get my point? You see? So now that's what we're trying to do now here now. You see, now here we're way down here, and see all them old damn little satanic spirits now trying to get you out of the way and draw you over on that side. cause you to depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of demons. That's what they're trying to do. Telling you they ain't got no carnal mind and all that, they got a spiritual mind. Well, let me tell you one thing. God, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua, Lord God of Jesus, never had a mind. That's it. Yahweh, Elohim, Yahshua, that's spirit. Is that right?
That's right.
Is that almost right?
That's right.
Now, they ain't mind. See, that's some idiot, you understand? That's what it talks about over there in 1 Corinthians. So now I come not speaking to you the wisdom of men's teaching. You understand? You see? See? Now here's what the world says. Say there's a universal mind now. There's a subconscious mind, and there's a conscious mind. You're a lying dog. Ain't no such thing. You get the point? See? But now they turn around and say, I'm spirit minded. But every time you look around, they change it. I think I go to work today. I don't feel like I don't think I will. You got what I'm saying? Their mind always changing. They're telling you one thing, but their mind constantly changing. Never the same. So I think I want just eat. No, I don't want that eat. You get the point? But they're spirit minded. And they say they got the Holy Spirit and they ain't got no carnal mind. You get it? All right. All right. All right. Now what I want read is this. Over there where it says without controversy, created Mr. Holiness. Before you get that, come on back there to Matthew 26 and 1.
Matthew 26 and 1.
Read. Now let's just tighten it up a little bit more than what the first two went into. Read. Come on now.
And it came to pass that when Yeshua had finished all these things, he said unto his disciples.
He said, Joshua said unto his disciples. Read.
Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover.
Now see, this same Joshua is the one that set it up back there. Set up time back there in Egypt. April. Take the lamb out on the 10th, hold them over till the 14th and 14th. Get it, eat it. Roasted lamb, bitter herb, onions, bread. 2 things to eat, 1 thing to drink. Is that right? Now he telling his 12 disciples, why you got 12? Because I gave it to the 12 tribes of Israel back there as a type and a shadow. Read. Come on now.
And it came to pass that when Yahshua had finished all these things, he said unto his disciples,
He said to his 12 disciples,
Ye know,
you know, because they've been had it for 1,500 years. Their foreparents had it, and they had to teach their children, had to teach their children, and that's what the praise Peter trying to tell you. Read.
that after 2 days
Yes.
is the feast of the Passover,
It's the feast of the Passover. Now he was the one that instituted it. Read.
and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
And the Son of Man is betrayed to be. Now whose Passover is it? Now it's not the 12 tribes Passover. It's not the children of Israel's Passover. It's Yahshua's Passover. Did you hear what I said? Now watch this. They keep on. That's why he told Moses, said, now you tell Pharaoh, I said, to let my one son Israel go. One son. Is that right? Now when you finish reading back that 12th chapter of Exodus, he said this is Joshua's memorial. Is that right? Joshua's memorial. And now here I was out there in the church, as she would say, the preachers out there in the church, and said this is the Lord's Supper. Now here the people eating the Lord's Supper. Now here they eat Joshua's Passover. All right, drop on down to the 17th verse.
Now on the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahshua, saying unto him,
Now listen what they did, all 12 of them came. Say Yahshua, read.
Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
Now did you see what they asking him? Yahshua, where is it that you would have us to prepare for you to eat the Passover. See, it was his. It's his Passover. It's not the children of Israel Passover. This is Joshua's Passover. Read.
And he said, go into the city to such a man.
Go into the city. Yeah. To search a man. Watch now, read.
And say unto him.
And say unto that man. Now listen, look up here now. Say now, here he's back here, fulfilling that Passover feast. She said, got it right out of the book. Said they was eating it in the house. Every man had to eat that Passover in his own house. Kenneth, if you were the head of that house, if you had children and a wife, that Passover was to be eaten in your house. It was in that man's house. And all of his children would eat in that man's house. John, in your house. You the head of the house. The Passover was being eaten in your house. You see? Robert, if you were down there, it would be eaten in your house and all your children in there eating. You see what I'm talking about? Is that right? Now, do you see the natural? Now, the natural just points to the what? Is that right? Okay. Great.
And he said, go into the city.
Go into the
to
city.
such a man.
To such a man.
And say unto him.
Walk. And say unto that man.
The master said.
Hey, the master said. Joshua said.
My time is at hand.
Joshua said his time is at hand.
I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
I'll keep the Passover at your house with my disciples. How many you got? 12. See, Joshua, Messiah. Did you hear me? Joshua, Messiah. Joshua, Messiah. Sheriff. And that's it to that man. Trump said, I'll eat the Passover at your house. Is that right? Come on, Sheriff. Did you see? Now look at here. He was back here in his fleshly body when he set it up. Is that right? Now he got to come on down and put on a body. Listen! Guess what here don't eat roasted lamb, unleavened bread, and drink bitter herbs. Did you hear what I said? A body have I prepared for me. Is that right? Is that right? He prepared one down here, the Institute. He got to have one over his place prepared and all the what? Oh, ain't that right? Did you understand? And he got to eat it in that man's house. Is that right? Read! Come on now.
And the disciples did as Joshua had appointed them.
And they did as Joshua appointed them. Read!
And they made ready the Passover.
They made ready the Passover. Read on.
Now when the evening was come,
He
sat down with the 12.
Now here, he sat down. Look at him, man. He had a body like you. He sat down with the 12. Ain't that right? Read.
And as they did eat,
He said,
verily I say unto
now
you.
see, they already eat, man. Meat. That's the roasted lamb. Read.
Verily I say unto you.
Yes.
That one of you shall betray me.
One of you gonna betray me. Now he said right there. You understand that table? There's 12, amen. Read.
And they were exceedingly sorrowful.
Now here 11 of them is exceedingly sorrowful. You heard me read.
And they began every one of them to say unto him.
Say unto Joshua.
Master, is it I?
Master, is it I? Look at here. Look, let me tell you one thing. You don't know what you playing with. See, you ain't playing a game of golf down here to see who's gonna be the winner here. You playing with your soul, Buster. And you only got one. Read.
And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish.
Not all in that. Is it I? You understand? Now listen. Now look, listen. Are you listening to me, John? See, now that old Judas there. She had been running on out, you understand? In this one's house, in that one's house, planning to kill Joshua. Persecute him. Kill him. Depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. Did you hear what I said? And see, that old boy, he been sitting there. See, now look, do you know what? Do you know this is 3.5 years that he had his disciples following him around? And do you know this is not the fast, the first supper they eat? They already ate 3, but this is the last one. And for 3 years, that boy, he been conjuring up to get Yahshua. You see what I mean? And he been running around conversing with others. You understand? Now let me show you something. I can bring it up now. Because you already committed your act. You see? Run out this one and that. Say, it ain't like this, it ain't like that, it ain't like this, it ain't like that. And running out and trying to get everybody with him. You understand what I'm talking about? And some of them so stupid and foolish. What did they were ordained to be that in the first place. You understand? See, everybody got to play this thing. You understand? Read.
And he said, and he answered and said,
Yes.
He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish.
See, now when Yahshua said that, see, that boy tried to pretend you ain't talking to me. But the other 11, they sitting there just as soft. Said, Yahshua, is it I? Is it I? They hurt. You understand what I'm saying? But this old boy here, you understand, he's getting all shaky, you see. And he dips his hand in the shop, and Yahshua says, him that stoppeth in the dish with me now.
The same shall betray me.
Now that's the same one. Now that's the son of perdition. Read!
The Son of Man goeth
Come on now.
as it is written of him.
As it's all, now look, it's been written always, just like Cain. See, it's already written. You understand? See, them 2 sons coming all the way down through that. You understand? And they can't change. They can't change either. Can't change in the middle of the street. Read.
But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
Read.
It had been...
It's been better that it had not been born. Read on.
Then Judas...
Now watch now the 11 and said, is it I? But when Yahshua just kept pouring up. See, he started getting shaky then. And he know the cover's coming off it. Read.
Then Judas, who betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I?
See, he's too late. What did Yahshua say?
He said unto him, Thou hast said.
You said it. Oh, that's at supper. Now listen. Now right there. Now you go over there in John. You see? See, Joshua points out Judas as being the head devil. Now when he pointed him out, you go over there in John, you'll say, then the spirits entered into him. See, no, he was the devil all the way down the line. But the other 11 apostles sitting there. See, all them damnable spirits that was in him, because they was in every one of them's flesh. They come out, and they just took over. Now that made Judas the head devil. And Yahshua told me, he said, now what you gonna do? Get up, do it quick. Is that right? But he had to stick around to get his feet washed and everything else. And you reading that right over there in John. John, what I want.
John 13:2.
Well, try and read it right quick.
And supper being ended,
And supper being
the
ended.
devil having now
See,
put...
but Judas couldn't leave. He had to stay there. Just like after they pointed out, they got to stay here. Read.
And the supper being ended,
Now, if this is a divine business, and it's right, and it's in the book, then what you think's got to be here? And supper being ended. Read.
the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot.
Now, see, it was already in his heart. But all of the spirits in just took him over. Ain't that right? Read.
Simon's son,
Yeah.
to betray him.
Yeah.
Yahshua, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from Yahweh,
Yeah.
and went to Yahweh,
Yeah.
he rises from supper,
He rises from
and
supper.
laid aside his garments, and took a towel and girded
Look
himself.
out now. Lay aside the towel. Lay aside the garment, took a towel.
After,
Now he fulfilled. See, he got to fulfill every job in the temple. See, Moses washing the priest's feet in the tabernacle. So Yahshua, now he got to take the towel. And he got to gird himself. I've demonstrated this thing for 15 years, John. I've been telling you all about it all the time. You see? But I had to give you the meat, but the milk. But the meat is here now. You see, you take the towel, read,
and girded
and
himself.
girded himself.
And after that he poured water into a
Pour
basin,
water into a basin, same as Moses back there, read.
and began to wash the disciples'
And then
feet.
he come all the way down, begin to wash the disciples' feet. Is that right? begin to wash the disciples' feet. Is that right? Read.
And to wipe them with the towel.
And to wipe them with the towel. Is that
With
right?
which he was
Now he
girded.
washing the disciples' feet. You understand? Wash them. You understand? See, Judas got his feet washed too. You understand what I'm talking about? He had to get his feet washed too, along with all the other 12. Read.
Then cometh he to Simon Peter.
Yeah, he come to Simon Peter.
And Peter said unto him,
Yeah.
Master, do thou wash my feet?
Read.
Yahshua answered and said unto him,
What I do not teach you don't know, but you will know after. Read.
Peter said unto him,
Yeah.
Thou shalt never wash
You
my
never
feet.
wash my feet. If I don't wash your feet, you won't never do it. He said, not only my feet, but my head all rid on.
Yahshua said,
Come
He
on.
that is washed needeth not except he wash his feet, but is entirely clean.
Yeah, read.
And ye are clean,
And
not
you
all of
are clean,
and not all of you.
but not all of you. I'm talking about sitting right here tonight. Read.
But he knew who should betray him.
He knew who would betray him.
Therefore said he, Ye are not all
You're
clean.
not all clean.
So after he had washed their feet,
Read.
and had taken his garments, and was seated again, he
Seated.
said unto them,
Yes.
Know ye what I've done to you?
Do you know what I've done to you? You should also do it to others. Now that's enough of that. All right. Now look at here. Now that was the Last Supper. Is that right? Now he gets up from there. Then he goes on out and they cross bookkeeping. The same as that they ate the Passover down here. They got to cross some water. Now in the pulpit, they got to cross some water here. And they got to sing a hymn here as they're going over into the garden. Just as they sing a hymn here, going over into the garden. Ain't that right? Fulfill it to a jot and just he's yet in that physical body. And when he went on out there, he was troubled and he fell down. He got to pray them 3 prayers. Where's that morning, noon, and evening? Shall I pray him today? And now Judas, he had went on out and got the band of soldiers and come on out there in the garden because there were trees out there. Just as the devil come on in there and got at him. Ain't that right? You see that old serpent? One come on in there and got at him, brought him on down to his death. So now look, that old serpent being the head, Judas, ain't that right? He went and got chaos and the band of soldiers with lampers, torches and all that, coming on bringing Yahshua on down to his death. Is that almost right? You understand? Now look at here, and what now I told you Yahshua pointed the devil out at the supper, right? He pointed him out, is that right? Now Judas, when he told him, now you do what you must do after you watch you, he cut on out, and he went on up. After the said he can count, here's what he said, how much will you give to me if I point him out to you? See the pointing out? See? And they gave him 30 pieces of silver. Then he said, come on, the one that I kissed. Now him you grab, ain't that right? So now Yahshua pointed him out. Now he got to come and point Yahshua. Oh, did y'all catch that? Did you catch that? Ain't that right? So when he got to Yahshua, he said, Hail Yahshua! Ain't that right? He fell right straight back, ain't that right? God said, whom do you look for? Because back there said, don't touch the Ark of the Covenant, ain't that right? And he had to fall backwards, ain't that right? God said, whom do you look for? See, Judas pointed Yahshua to the Sanhedrin council. Did you see that? See, now Yahshua pointed him out at supper. At the feast. Let's keep feast there, you understand? Now therefore, Judas got to even point him out. Because the devil is the only one who knows who he is. The disciples didn't really know who he was. Just like down here now, folks don't know who's who. You understand what I'm talking about? But Yahshua knows who the devil is, the devil knows who Yahshua is. How about that? You see? All right, now that's what Paul is talking about. Ain't that right? See, now after Yahshua fulfilled that Passover supper, ain't that right? Then he come on and died, crucified and fulfilling act, bring him out the garden and all of that. And now he's out on the cross, nailed him in the hand, nailed him in the feet, ain't that right? Fulfilling that lamb down there and the blood on the 4 horns of the altar. Can you see the 4 points of blood on the world here? Can you see the 4 points of blood on the world here? Can you see the 4 points here? Can you see the 4 points here? Can you see that? And remember, Yahshua. That's the 4 angels on the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the winds, ain't that right? To keep the wind from blowing on the trees, ain't that right? You understand? That's the 4 angels on the 4 corners of the earth that he's talking about. Is that right? So therefore, look at here now. After that, he went on out there, and he died and buried in the Joseph new tomb. He was resurrected a quickening spirit. Now he resurrected back here under this age. He died, he was buried, and he resurrected, and he ascended. Ain't that right? But on the day of Pentecost, he poured out the Holy Spirit in this age. Ain't that right? That's why over here, she come on over here now. I wanted over that What is in Hebrews 8 and 5? What is it over there? Where it said, let's keep the feast not with leaven, but with unleavened. 1 Corinthians 5:17. I want it out of both Bibles, out 5 and 7. Now, read that King James first. Now, here we are in this age here now. Read.
Purge out therefore the old leaven.
Purge out. That's King James, right?
Yes.
Now, listen at the difference, folks. That's why I told you to get both Bibles. I told you that for 15 years. They don't read the same. Read. Purge out
therefore the old leaven.
That's that old natural. The natural. Read.
That ye may be a new lump.
Now, watch what comes with the natural now. See, because the natural even gonna change on you. Listen, from Adam down to Joshua, he's the 63rd generation of the flesh. Is that right? And it ain't no more flesh now. Because the 63rd generation of the flesh is over with. Now, when he come down here, he said to you, you must be born again. Is that right? You already been born of the natural. Now you got to be born of the what? Spirit. Of the spirit, right? So now since you over here, you don't even have a natural man over here now. Because he nailed the 63 generations of the flesh to the cross. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? Read.
Purge out therefore the old leaven.
The old leaven.
That ye may be a new lump.
That you might be now. This the old leaven. That you over here, you might be a new lump. See, this was a natural lump back here. But this is a spiritual lump over here. Read.
As ye are unleavened.
As you are unleavened.
For even the Messiah, our Passover.
Now, did you see that? Even Yahshua the Messiah, our Passover. Read.
Is sacrificed for us.
Now look, where did he pass over from? From over here. Was come on over here because he was sacrificed for us. Read.
Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven.
Let us keep the feast, not with what?
Old leaven.
Read.
Neither with the leaven of malice.
What you read now?
The King James Version.
Neither with read.
Leaven of malice and wickedness.
And malice and wickedness. Don't you bring that old malice and wickedness over here now. Because it was natural malice. Natural malice and wickedness back here. You get it? Well, they ain't had no Holy Spirit in them. Well, never damnable spirits in them. They ain't a physical body with damnable spirits in them. You heard me. Read.
But with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
But with unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. Now read that holy name.
Get rid of the old leaven.
Now get rid of that old leaven now.
That you may be bread of a new bacon.
Wait a minute. See, now here you over here now. And now you're telling them Jews that they brought on over here. Get rid of the what?
The old leaven.
The old leaven. Get it out from over here and get it on back there where it nailed to the cross in the first place. Read.
That you may be bread of a new bacon.
That you may be bread of a new bacon. Read.
As it were, unleavened Passover bread.
As it were, unleavened Passover bread. Read.
For the Messiah, our Passover.
From Yahshua, the spiritual Yahshua, our Passover.
Was crucified for us.
Now that was the Messiah that was crucified for us, not the spiritual Yahshua. Read.
Was sacrificed for us.
Was sacrificed for us. Read.
Therefore, let us keep the feast.
Let us keep the feast over here now.
Not with old leaven.
Not with old leaven.
Neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness.
Did you see that? Now don't you bring that junk over here. The malice. Because now that's spiritual now. It's spiritual. See, it was back here natural. Because you had the old natural man. Did you hear what I said? You had the old natural man back yonder. But over here now, you don't have the natural man over here. It's the spirit man over here now. That's what you're in, a spiritual age. Now see that old natural malice, see? That old natural hate has turned now to spiritual malice, to spiritual hate. Read.
But with the unadulterated principles of sincerity and truth.
Ain't that right? Now, did y'all catch that one? All right. Now, please, and I'm going to let you go. Now, give me first 11:23. Now, watch this.
1 Corinthians 11:23.
Mm-hmm.
For I have received of Yahshua.
Now look, children. Now watch the genuine spiritual soul seriousness. See, people play around here with a game, and they don't know who they're playing with. I told you, if you want something to play with, go get yourself a toy. I'll even pay for it. Don't play. Look, this is direct from Yahweh to you. You said don't nobody know these things. You were right.
You didn't even know what time it was until you come in here and sit down. You didn't even know that there was a natural or spiritual law. You are in natural water baptism and all that junk, running John in this church and that church, and come in here and sit down. And the Holy Spirit taught you. You understand? Now you want to jump up and persecute him, oppress and put him to an open shame. Ain't that a dog? Why don't you come on off yourself? And ain't been up in the air yet. That's more than spirit. Read.
For I have received of Yahshua that which I delivered.
Now look here, that I'm delivering to you, I received it from Yahweh. That I've delivered unto you. And that's the divine vision and revelation. You can't tell me what went on back there. Read.
That Yahshua the Messiah,
The same night.
that night,
Yeah.
which he was betrayed,
When he was betrayed.
to bread.
To bread.
And when he had given thanks,
And when he had given thanks.
he broke it and said.
And he said, now listen here, now watch this. You didn't know this. You still don't know it. Paul was not one of the 12 disciples back there in that upper room. Paul had never come in yet. Paul didn't come in until some 7 years after over here. He wasn't back here. He wasn't sitting up there in that upper room with the 12. So how did he know? That's how you gonna know, by divine vision and revelation. See, you'll find out it ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing you run around here making fun of somebody. Read.
Take, eat. This is my body, which is broken for you.
Which is broken for you.
Do this in remembrance. For you, this do in remembrance.
And remember.
After the same manner also he took the cup.
He took the cup.
Which he had supped.
Which he had supped. Same.
This cup is the New Testament.
This cup is the New Testament.
In my blood.
In my blood. Read.
This do as often as you drink
this
it
cup.
in remembrance of me.
Read.
For as often as ye eat this
bread
and drink this
and
cup,
drink this cup,
ye do show Yahshua's death till he comes.
till he comes again. Ain't that right? Read.
Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread.
Now you listen. You listen. I'm going to take you back here and show you what happened. Now I'm going to show you what's going on over here. It's been going on ever since the day of Pentecost. Now you're down here at the end of the thing. Read.
Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this
Now
bread.
see, that same thing going on up that school back there. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread
And drink this cup of the Yahshua.
of Yahshua.
Unworthily.
Now look ahead. Read.
Shall be guilty of the body and blood of Yahshua.
Now watch it. Now look. Now listen. I see a spiritual body, the spiritual blood over here. But see, there was a physical body, and the physical blood right here. See Judas sitting at the table? Wasn't Judas guilty of the body and blood of Yahshua before he was crucified? Didn't Judas point out the body of Yahshua to the Sanhedrin council? Didn't Judas say, I have betrayed the innocent blood? Now you see, you're taking the natural now, to understand the what? Did you catch that? Now see, Yahshua back there said it'd been better that man had not been born. Is that right? See? And then after he did that, then he went and tried to throw the money back. And they said, you didn't did it, Buster. Even the Sanhedrin council wouldn't take it and put it in there. They're taking it and bought a pot of steel, which means a field of blood. And they buried him the same place Pharaoh was in the Red Sea. See, red, pot of steel means a field of blood. See, that Red Sea was nothing but blood. That's what made it red. Now over here now, it's spiritual now. That he that do what? Is guilty of the body of Yahshua the Messiah. Read it now.
But let a man, wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of Yahshua unworthily.
It's spiritual bread. It's spiritual drinking now. It's spiritual baptism. Read. Unworthily. Read.
Shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Messiah.
Now listen. Now that's twice there. Brought up by the read.
But let a man examine
But
himself.
now you do this. Now we're telling you, don't you run away with this thing. You better come on and ask questions. Let's examine it good. That's what you better do. Now we're begging you. Ask questions. Make me prove it to you. Don't go running nobody your hair caught. Your soul is at stake. You get it? Read.
But let a man examine himself.
Examine himself.
And so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup.
Now that's the spiritual bread, and that's the spiritual cup. Read.
For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the body, Yahshua's body.
Not discerning the body. Now listen. Now what do you mean not discerning the body? Now what do you mean by that? You know why they're not discerning the body? Because they're getting that special prepared body mixed up with the spirit body. It's just a shame. Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
Did you catch that one? You see? How come they ain't discerning the body over here? It's all a spiritual body. You see? See, they're getting the Messiah and Yahshua all over here. You know what they're saying? That's physical body. Now see, that was called Messiah. And Messiah means the anointed one. The Holy Spirit is the anointer. The Holy Spirit doesn't need any anointing, George. You understand me? See? Now, why did this body have to be anointed as John baptism? Because when they come through the Red Sea, they were baptized in the cloud and in the what? See, the sea is water. The cloud representing spirit. See, when Moses brought the priest to the door here, what he had to do, wash him and then anoint him with oil. Is that right? Ain't that right? Now he got to come on down, and he was the one back in the I telling him to do it. Now see, ooh, my goodness. Now you see what's going on here? See, now when he's baptized, when he come up, he got to be baptized in the water. That's fulfilling the water. You understand? And then the Spirit set on him, not oil. Now what spirit is it that set on him and anointed? Ain't that right? So the Holy Spirit is the one anointing who? Messiah's physical body. That's why it's fulfilled right there. And Isaiah said, Yahweh has anointed me to do what? To preach the glad tidings. Ain't that? It said me to do what? To bind up the brokenhearted. Ain't that right? So if they, oh my goodness, see, they didn't know that about the body back here. And that's why the devil had to point it out. And just like his disciples didn't know nothing about Jews, and they had to point him out. Ain't that right? So therefore now it's spiritual point out now. And you know the devil always comes to y'all and say, we know he should shut up and come out of the man. So the disciples walk around, they didn't know nothing. Ain't that right? He didn't know who he was. But the devil didn't experience it, because he was one of that. And the people out here said, well, the only one I know anything about the spiritual God. You just told on yourself. Yeah, we know it. But them spirits that is conjured in your flesh, in you see, that spirit was the one that cast some spirits down into the earth. Ain't that right? And they're walking right around here. You understand? Got the soul and the body. Ain't that right? You see? So therefore now that's the feast that's going on now. Now that's what Jude is talking about. Now when you get home, read Jude and also read Peter, the 2nd chapter. You understand? Clouds they are. What? Clouds they are. Without water. Clouds say what? Feast with you. See, they were feasting in the school then, just like they're feasting in the school now. Folks, it has to be. Did you hear me? Now look, you don't argue around with these damnable spirits. You hear? That's Yahweh to them. You leave them alone. You see what I'm talking about? See, as long as you got a physical body on, you got to have them damnable spirits. And them two mysteries got to come down side by side. Now, if you don't want them around here, we can just cast them out of them, put them in you, and you can take on. Then somebody said, well, what's going to happen to him? They wasn't satisfied with who they were taking. You understand? You see, you can't, look, you got veins and arteries in your body. See? Now, you can't take the veins out and leave the arteries in there. You can't just leave the pure blood in there and take the impure out. You get it? Can you? No. So them two mysteries got to come right on down. Ain't that right? You see what I'm talking about? See, I hear you got 12 vagus nerves, is that right? 12 cranial nerves. 12 of them. And one nerve, you got that called the vagus nerve. And that boy, he run right on down to heaven, all the way on down. And you know what? He'll give you the appendicitis, ain't that right? And if you don't get to the doctor real quick, what will they do on you? They'll burst asunder, ain't that right? Now you see what Judas did? He went out there and hung himself, and they said his gut, what? Burst asunder. Is that right? Just like Pharaoh and his host was burst, what? Asunder. So his guts burst asunder. So don't you see, you can't take that vagus nerve out of there. It ain't no good for the body at all. It's death. And that's all the devil is. Satanic spirits in these schools. They ain't no good. They death. You understand what I'm talking about? Did you read that?
Jude, you want Jude?
Whoever got it.
Jude 12, these are the spots in your love feast.
These are spots in your love feast.
When they feast with you.
What night? See, was this a feast? Was Judas a spot in that feast?
Yes.
Judas was the spot. Yeah, just like you got fly in a bowl of milk. You see what I'm talking about? There's a spots. It's got an S on it?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you got them around here. They got to be. These are spots in your what?
Love feast.
See, now, what are we preaching? Yahshua's gospel, right? So he's the love. And we're eating of his spiritual body and drinking of his spiritual blood. Is that right? Really? These are spots in your love feast.
When they feast with
No, wow. So they got to be right here feasting. When Judas feasted at the feast, that's where he was pointed out. So they got to be here, act up right in the feast, that you might point them out. You understand how you might read?
while they feast with you,
While they feasting.
feeding themselves without fear.
They're not scared. The devil will come and spit right in your face, man. Ain't nothing you can do. Read.
Clouds they are without water.
Now you see, clouds they are without. He that believeth on me, the scripture said, I just blemish shall flow rivers of living water. That's the milk and the meat. Ain't that right? Read.
Carried about by
They're carried about by wind.
trees.
Trees are
Whose fruit
withered.
withered.
Whose fruit withered.
Without fruit.
See, they come in and they got the milk, you understand? And then they exalted themselves. Ain't that right? And they want to know more about it than the one brought it here. You see what I'm talking about? And they come along, you understand, sit at your feet, and they want to jump up and tell you something. Sure, man, there's got to be. Yahweh got his stuff on where they're pointed down. And give it to the house.
Permanent harm. Scientists have yet to
Now, that's my job. See, I didn't come here want to know anything about you. The only thing I want to know about you is Yahshua crucified, died, buried, yet raised from the dead. I'm saying, oh, like you said, that's all I want to know about you. See, I don't want to know nothing about your habits and all that kind of stuff. See, because I know mine as a natural man. They ain't no damn good. I already know yours. See, but I'm here to say to you, I shall shake the ball from heaven tonight. And I done come on now. And now he down here to oppose me. And what we're teaching. That's what he down here to do. Now you got to see. But you know what? Before this thing is over, everybody gonna see. I told you. Before this thing is over, everybody gonna know who is who. And I told you that for 15 years.
Yes, sir.
But y'all ain't gonna fool it. It's gonna up, Vivi. So you can just go right on and support yourself all you want. But you won't be standing naked before Yahweh. And I told you this, Yahweh will have to, before the universal revelation, show you a physical sign, just like you did back here with Pharaoh and his hosts. Did the children of Israel, when they delivered? Did they look back and see Pharaoh and his hosts destroyed? Now that's what I'm talking about. They never knew. And these damn little spirits around here in bars. They're going to walk right out of here tonight and get together and say, how did you hear that mess? That's you talking about me. You're talking about us. Well, you know what? If it wasn't for you, devil, we wouldn't have nobody to talk about. So who else can we talk about? That's all Yahshua did. He come all the way down, pointing out to them. Did you see what he did? That's all he ever did. Did you see what he did? And that's what Yahshua is in you for. Now he's in the man's house.
eating his Passover. Is this your house? You the man. Now it's Joshua. He said, tell the man I will eat the Passover what? At his house. That is your house, isn't it?
Yes.
Now Joshua in there is eating his Passover. You ain't eating it. Because the natural man, now did y'all catch that? Thank you, baby.
California is experiencing another gold rush of sorts. After 8 weeks of nobody winning, the lottery there is expected to top $100 million. Now, it's not the largest in history, but it's enough to draw people from miles around for Wednesday's drawing. Ann McDermott reports.
Who buys lottery tickets? People with big dreams.
I'll feed the hungry and homeless in Mexico, and then I want to get my teeth fixed.
And people with chauffeur-driven limos can have big dreams, too.
Oh, well, the big pot, the rainbow, the pot at the end of the rainbow.
And the pots never looked better in California. The jackpot has now soared to over $100 million. Californians aren't the only ones buying the dollar tickets. Lotto maniacs from around the country are trying to cash in. But the fact is, you have a much better chance of getting struck by this than winning lotto. Still, everyone thinks they'll be that 1 in a million, or to be more precise, that 1 in 23 million. One man says, no problem. You just have to reduce the odds.
I have 2,000 tickets here.
Others consult tip sheets like these. And here's the publisher with some free advice.
You can take 18 different numbers between 1 and 53 and combine them into 42 different combinations and play $42 worth. And if any 6 of those 18 come in, the least you're going to win is definitely a 4 out of 6 and many 3 out of 6s on one of those 42 tickets.
Got that? If not, here's some other strategies.
Well, it's always a lottery prayer. Dear God, let me win. I'll share it.
My wife picks all the numbers.
And if you don't know his wife, you may want to consult Madame Ruby.
I don't see a large amount of money coming in your direction right now.
Well, in that case, you may need to wear your lucky lotto socks. It may not help, but at least you'll go down to defeat in style. Ann McDermott, CNN, Los Angeles.
McDonald's thinks America's landfills deserve a break today, so the world's largest food service organization has announced a plan to eliminate at least 80% of the garbage created at its 8,500 fast food restaurants in the United States. It is replacing white carryout bags with brown bags made of recycled paper. It will use smaller paper napkins. And it's also trying out reusable coffee mugs and coffee filters. McDonald's restaurants produce 2 million pounds of garbage every day. Northwest Airlines may be buying Donald Trump's shuttle. The chief financial officer for the Trump Organization said the deal is nearly done. The shuttle provides regular service between Boston, New York, and Washington, D.C. Reports say that Northwest would begin by managing shuttle operations in exchange for assuming part of its debt. The bulls ran wild in Wall Street on Tuesday. The Dow Industrial Average closed up more than 53 points at 2986. Traders say advances in the banking and technology sectors drove the market. For the first time since 1939, Poland has begun trading shares of private companies. Polish officials say trading sessions will take place once a week at the old Communist Party headquarters until the planned opening of a stock exchange in June. Sporting news is up next, including the latest hockey, basketball, and baseball.
This is CNN Headline News.
On those extended business trips, nothing is worse than feeling stranded in less than ideal accommodations. Cramped workspaces, uncomfortable beds, limited dining options, and a noticeable lack of assistance when you need it. Perhaps you should try Red Lion Hotels, located throughout the West, wherever business is done. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. If not, have a pleasant journey.
Ah, the wondrously versatile Range Rover. Perfect for the highway. Or getting to the bank. It can give Jaguars a run for their money. And it's ideal for driving up to your country home.
This is one kind of lightweight, affordable hedge trimmer. Simple, but not easy. This is another kind. Easy, but not simple. Now there's a new kind. Introducing the HomeLite HT17 hedge trimmer. It's lightweight, easy to handle. There's no electrical cord, so it's simple to use. The new HomeLite gas-powered HT17. World's first affordable hedge trimmer that's both simple and easy. From HomeLite, everything you need to get your lawn done right.
I was ready for my vacation, but afraid of being locked into inflated rental car rates. Suddenly, everything fell into place.
Help you with that excess baggage?
Thanks, she's not with me.
I mean those inflated prices. Dollar Rent-A-Car is right on the airport, right on the money. Great selection, unlimited mileage. Call 1-800-800-4000.
Bob Fossella, CNN Headline Sports. Someone check the water this guy's been drinking. But can you blame him? His Blues came from 3 games to 1 down to beat the Red Wings and advance to the second round of the NHL playoffs. Brett Hull broke away for the go-ahead score. Final 3-2 St. Louis. They win the series 4 games to 3. Meantime, Edmonton held off the Flames' bid to rally back from 3-1 down. Overtime at Calgary. Esa Tikkanen got the hat trick, including the OT winner. Final 5-4 Oilers. Over to baseball. American League, the White Sox off to a fast 6-0 start. Tuesday night at Yankee Stadium, 10th inning, 2 outs. Robin Ventura doubled home. Lance Johnson with the winner. Final 4-3 Sox. The Red Sox beat Kansas City. The Rangers won. Brian Downing went 4 for 5. Detroit stopped the Blue Jays. Scott Holman shut out the Twins. And the A's close with the Angels. National League, the bat of Terry Pendleton set Atlanta ablaze as they burned down the Astros 10-4. Pendleton ignited a 7-run 8th inning with his 3-run double. The Cubs won in 13. Montreal shut down the Cards. The Pirates beat the Mets. The Reds shut out the Pods as Norm Charlton outdueled Andy Bennis. And the Giants beat the Dodgers 8-6 thanks to the long ball. Catcher Steve Decker unloaded a 3-run shot off Ramon Martinez, and Will Clark added a 2-run blast. NBA, the Red Hot Blazers won again, 15 straight. They held the Rockets to 24% shooting in the second and third quarters, got 16 from Drexler and Davis in a 115-96 rout. Charlotte beat the Heat. The world champs looked like it in this win. The Pacers trimmed the Nets. The Magic won again. The Bullets an overtime victory. Same for the Knicks over the Sixers. The Spurs by 30, Phoenix by 35, and make it 36 straight road losses for the Kings. Bob Fossella, CNN Headline Sport.
This is CNN Headline News.
It was a simpler time. A time of hope and faith in the future. Blue jeans and white t-shirts were in. And people fell in love with the Miata. A ragtop, a 2-seater, a true roadster. Everyone seemed to be feeling pretty good. The Mazda Miata. It not only gives you a glimpse of the 90s, it takes you back as well.
I put off going to the doctor. But this burning stomach kept waking me up at night. Finally, I just went. I can imagine how relieved I was when my doctor said Mylanta. He said I had heartburn. And heartburn like mine needed a strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Now available in cherry and cool mint cream flavors.
Steven Spielberg says there will never again be a filmmaker like David Lean. Sir David Lean died at his home in London Tuesday at the age of 83. The cause of death was reported as pneumonia. The renowned British director was known for making matching breathtaking photography with high-quality scripts. Of his 16 movies, his biggest box office success was Dr. Zhivago, which earned 3 Oscars. All his films won more than 24. His favorite film was the epic Lawrence of Arabia, which many critics call one of the greatest ever made. Lean had announced plans to begin filming a new movie before he fell ill in January. President Bush is making sure Wednesday isn't any ordinary day. He's declared it the Great Read Aloud Day, and Tuesday he gave a sneak preview, reading aloud to first and second graders at the White House, and they were appreciative. They gave Mr. Bush a watercolor drawing of the first dog, Millie. Many people spend hours at gardens growing vegetables for salads, but there's one potential salad item that often grows naturally. Trouble is, dandelions are usually considered weeds and not edible food. Jeannie Moos reports on the drive to change that image.
Most Americans think of dandelions as something for their lawnmower to eat, so imagine trying to get a stranger to munch a bunch of dandelions. Would you mind tasting this for me? I'll eat some myself.
Yeah, just a flower?
Sure. It's a dandelion, but let me wash it off first.
Gonna eat a dandelion?
Getting Americans to dig into dandelions is a hard sell, but if they're selling them at a fancy restaurant like Le Cercle, then dandelions must be chic. The chef says they give salad character, that dandelions make mere lettuce seem lackluster.
We shouldn't compare with lettuce because lettuce is water next to that.
At Le Cercle, dandelion salad is served with duck and quail eggs for $25. In Central Park, dandelions are free.
They have a slightly bitter taste, which is very stimulating.
Steve Brill is a naturalist who seems willing to eat almost anything in reach, though he warns others.
If you have no idea what a dandelion looks like and you run around putting anything you find in your mouth, you may be in for your last supper.
You're supposed to eat the leaves of dandelions that don't yet have the yellow flowers. The ones that have already bloomed tend to be bitter. They intentionally grow them in the rural community of Vineland, New Jersey, which claims to be the dandelion capital of the world. And the Vineland Chamber of Commerce has named this man Dandelion Farmer of the Year.
A lot of people are in the dark about dandelion.
Steve Greif devotes only about 20 of his 150 acres to dandelions. We'd be lying if we said sales have always been dandy, but they are picking up. Could a mere weed replace the need for spinach? Could it mean the end of endive?
Tastes like lettuce. No, but it really doesn't taste like anything. Not bad overall.
Oh, I don't want any more, thanks. I'm full.
But dress dandelions up with a little dressing, duck and quail eggs, and even the chairman of the board of Bloomingdale's is impressed.
No, it's very tasty. And I will have dandelion salad again.
The hard part is getting anyone to try it the first time. Would you mind tasting this?
Not right now.
Would you mind?
No, I don't want to try it. I'm not a vegetarian, thank you.
But at least the next time you go on a picnic, all you'll have to bring is the silverware. Jeannie Moos, CNN, New York.
The Detroit Zoo got a double bundle of joy last week. A chimpanzee gave birth to twins, something the zoo says happens only about once in every 100,000 births. A chimp baby usually clings to its mother, but the mother can carry only one. So a team of 7 people have donned furry costumes and are running around raising the second little chimpanzee. That's our report for this half. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Goodnow. Around the world in 30 minutes, this is CNN Headline News.
This is CNN Headline News.
Which news network do you watch? CNN offers a comprehensive look at the news with special investigative series, live reports and interviews, and great programs like Larry King Live, Moneyline, and Crossfire. And CNN Headline News takes you around the world in 30 minutes with a continuously updated look at today's top stories. CNN and CNN Headline News. Whether you watch one or the other or both, we're glad you're watching. And if you aren't, maybe it's time you should.
From Turner Broadcasting System, this is CNN Headline News.
Ralph Buick in Delray Beach has cash back up to $2,000 or GMEC financing from 4.9% APR on great cars. We have the incredible 1992 Buick Roadmaster ready for delivery. But we also have good people, people who listen, people you can trust. That's what made Ralph Buick one of the biggest Buick dealers in the country. Come see for yourself. Take I-95 South to Linton Boulevard or I-95 North to Yamata Road. At Ralph Buick in Delray Beach, we just save you money.
For years, Amana's been persistent about quality. Copper tubing coils, all brass service valves, electrode deposition paint, even stainless steel screws. While some have tried to copy Amana, they're still cutting corners. Cheap plastic grills and poor craftsmanship mean high repair costs later on. Amana's not only built to last, it's guaranteed for 10 full years. So make a long-term investment. Buy Amana.
For a free home survey, call Joe at Russell B. Jennings, 276-64.
CNN Headline News. I'm David Goodnow. After 3 years of being at odds with management, America's freight railway workers are saying enough is enough. Most of 235,000 of them are expected to take up picket signs 5 hours from now. The deadline expired 2 hours ago for the workers' unions to reach a new contract with freight rail companies. U.S. Transportation Secretary Samuel Skinner said a rail strike could cost the United States billions of dollars a day. He's turning to Capitol Hill to help put that industry back on track. Carl Rochelle reports.
The talks between rail and union negotiators broke off early Tuesday evening, ending any hope of heading off a nationwide rail strike scheduled for midnight Eastern Time.
There's no point in talking if you're not getting anywhere. And I think that must be the conclusion they came to.
Both sides had been far apart, but when the railroads put a new package on the table, the talks broke down completely.
It is our firm opinion that there is little hope for a negotiated settlement unless Congress protects our right under the law to strike.
A federal judge in Chicago has ordered the Chicago and Northwestern railroads to keep their commuter lines running, even if there is a strike. Amtrak service in the Northeast Corridor between Washington and Boston also would not be affected by a strike. But many of the commuter trains, like those in the San Francisco Bay Area, operate on rail lines owned by freight companies and apparently will not be able to run. So those people will be the first to feel the brunt of a walkout.
It's going to be a real hassle, especially since I just totaled my car, and I don't know how I'd even drive in. So I don't know what we're going to do.
I think I'll be driving tomorrow because I'm not sure how I'll get home.